All right, everybody, it's that time of year. The new year is upon us, and I'm sure you all have some New Year's resolutions you'd like to get off your chest, and so do I. So I've got 5 resolutions that I'm going to share with you. So let's just jump into it, shall we? Okay, so my New Year's resolutions are specific for my reptile breeding. Now, there's a lot of different things that I could talk about. I even wrote them down. Actually, I typed them down on the list, and I'm like, oh, but there's so many more that I want to do. So let's just, the things that I'm going to talk about are things that I feel like I can have a little bit of control over. And part of it is for my business. Part of it is just for the hobby of it all. Part of it is just to try new things and have fun with it. And so let's get off with my first one. My first one is been a big problem for me. For any of you that have followed me know that I've had some really difficult times with my rodent breeding. And I feel like I'm in a really good place right now. I feel like, I had some disease come in and kind of just run rampant through, pretty much all of my rodents. And I'm not sure where it came from or exactly what happened, but I feel like I have it under control pretty well right now. Also, part of my problem was just managing my older breeders and learning when to retire them sooner. And so I feel like this next year is going to be a year that I'm looking for positive results for my rodent breeding. So yeah, that's number 1. Number 2, let's see here. So last year I vended one show, the Magic Valley Reptile Show. It's a pretty small show, but it was a lot of fun. I met a lot of really neat people there. I'm definitely going to vend there again this year, as long as, I have snakes hatching. So let's cross my fingers and hope that I have some snakes that I can hatch. But the other show that I want to vend at is the Wasatch Reptile Expo. It's a big expo. It's in Salt Lake City, Utah. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've been to it 3 times. They do a spring show and a fall show. I've been to 2 fall shows and 1 spring show. Is that right? I don't even remember. But so I'm going to try to vend at that. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And so to prepare for that, I'm going to have to build some new display cases. So I'm going to do some build videos on that. I'm going to have to get a banner and just figure out my whole layout, how I want that to go. So that's going to be a lot of fun. My third resolution is I'm trying my hand at raising and breeding yellow Ackee monitors, and that's been a lot of fun. I thought I had an ovulation. I don't know if I did or not. I've been checking for eggs. It's really hard to check for eggs, by the way, because I'm disrupting all of the, they dig and they go through these tunnels, and I'm disrupting their tunnels. I just feel really bad, and so it's really hard to look for eggs every day. And she'll come out of her hole and she'll look really deflated, and I'm like, oh yeah, she laid, and I'll check in there and I'm like, there's nothing. So anyways, my goal this year is to breed, collect, and hopefully hatch some yellow Ackee babies. I mean, that's kind of that brings me a lot of excitement. So there's that. My next thing is I want to breed my powerhouse male and get some eggs. So how about I just go get him and I can show you what I'm thinking about. You can give me some advice. Okay, so here is my little man. Let's see if he can get into focus on the camera. There we go. here's my little man. I have yet to name him, but I spent enough money on him that I should name him. He's a, fire pastel spot nose clown, and I'd really like to breed him this year. He's sitting around 800 grams, so and he's over a year old, so he's technically old enough to breed. He's running, so let me just go ahead and put him down. All right, so yeah, he cost me quite a bit of money. I'd like to see if I could breed him and get some spot nose het clown combos. One of my snakes that I've got that I've been really considering breeding, she's right here. Let's see if I can pull her out. I need to get a bigger enclosure for this girl, but I've been kind of following Justin Kabilka's advice on transitioning your snakes to bigger tubs, and I'm gonna wait till she's actually ovulated and change her over. So this is my pastel GHI lesser girl, and she's just fantastic. She's just really awesome, a beautiful snake. And I think getting spot nose in that GHI would be a lot of fun. I think that it would be not very many people. I mean, spot nose is really popular. GHI clown is becoming more and more popular. But, she's sitting at 1,800 grams. This will be her first year breeding, so she's more than ready to go. So I think that would be a lot of fun to breed him to her. Like I said, as soon as she ovulates, I'll put her in a bigger enclosure. But I don't want her to go off food prematurely, so that's why I'm not moving her up to these 70 series tubs. Let me see, what else could I breed him to? No, I have just a regular Mojave female that laid 6 eggs for me last year, and I would love to get some GHI Mojave. Let's see, I couldn't get GHI Mojave, but I get spot nose Mojave het clowns, and that would be really a lot of fun. And something else that I thought of, I don't think it makes great combinations, but that I could do is I've got this pied female, and she's like 1450 grams, so she's just barely big enough to breed. And my pied male, he is not interested in breeding at all. So my thought was that I could maybe pair him up with her, and even though, from what I understand, spot nose doesn't make very good pieds, I'd get some fire pastel and make some double het pied clowns, and that would be a lot of fun too. Even the spot nose in it could be a lot of fun as far as like getting clown combinations. But yeah, I don't know if spot nose works too well in pieds. So let's see, I do have that Mojave girl. I have an Enchi girl. She's not het for anything, but that could be kind of fun to like make some firefly spot nose Enchi het clowns. To be honest, like, you can really breed him to anything and get some great combinations. So, if I do breed him, I really would like him to breed. If I do pair him up, I'd really like him to breed, because I think it would just be a lot of fun. And it would be my first time, breeding a little bit more expensive snakes. Okay, so I talked about the Ackees, my powerhouse male, my brother breeding operation. I want to do, like I said, vend at least 2 shows. And I would love to build, my last resolution is I would love to build my YouTube channel up to 750 subscribers. I know that for some that doesn't seem like very much, but for me, I have put a lot of like mental obstacles in, growing my channel. And, it's just hard to be confident when you don't see anything happening. but at the same time, you don't see anything happening because you don't really have the content or any content. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't want to set my goals too high. Right now, the channel's at like around 350, and I think, 750 subs, a little bit more than doubling. I think it would be satisfying, and plus that would encourage me to put, valuable content out there. I build furniture for a living, and my thought on it was that I could do some really helpful furniture builds with reptiles. So maybe some enclosures, maybe some racks, basic stuff. I think that stuff would be pretty handy to some people. And my goal would be to make it so the everyday man or woman could accomplish those kinds of builds, because there are so many tools that are so expensive out there that you can use to build things that, for a person that's just looking to get something built quickly, they're just not necessary. So anyways, those are my 5 resolutions. The Ackees, breed my powerhouse clownell, get my rodent breeding operation under control, vend 2 shows, and finally grow my YouTube channel to 750 subscribers. So I love to hear what your New Year's resolutions for your reptiles are. What do you want to breed? What kind of pairings? If it's not ball pythons, if it's lizards, what do you want to do? Maybe you're into hot snakes, like a crazy person. Not really crazy, just adventurous, right? Maybe you're into those kinds of things, or maybe you want to start something like that, or maybe you want to start your own YouTube channel or Instagram following. So these are my top 5 that I'm going to focus on this year. I could focus on Instagram a little bit more, but I feel like I really just need to focus on one thing at a time. If I can focus on one thing at a time, then that's probably how I will have the best chance at succeeding at it. So anyways, let me know what your resolutions are, and until next time, this has been Steven with Clutch Pythons. Thanks, guys.